the second part of the Saturday Special series, the triple hybrid 20g Hex Paludarium build series. You've already seen me measuring the sides and the base plate, basically is what I'm calling it. And I just wanted to introduce this styrofoam. That's what we're going to be working with, as well as a cocoa core, which you saw in the intro to the last video. But this is all styrofoam that I have accumulated with my resources, and there's a bunch of stuff. I just basically, my dad picked this up for me from a few Walmarts and stuff, so it's really nice of him. And this is basically used for fish boxes to ship fish to Walmart and stuff. Not that I recommend buying your fish at Walmart. Go to a local fish store. Don't even go to PetSmart or Petco. It's my recommendation. Go to a local fish store. Buy your fish and aquatic animals there. Unless you can find them online. If you don't want to go in store, that's fine too. That's what I do sometimes. I do support my local fish store, obviously. Last week I showed you how I pack up my shrimp to take them to my local fish store. So I do support my local fish store. But that's kind of getting a little bit off topic. I want to sit down with you guys. We'll sit down relatively and try to figure out how we're going to get this going. This styrofoam is 9 15/16 of an inch. And as we can see here, we have all of this stuff for the height of the painted glass from this point to this point. We have 16 inches. We have the inside width of 10 inches, outside width of 10 1/4. Thickness of the glass is 3/16 of an inch. The corner to corner, so like this corner to this corner, I think is the two I measured, 20 1/2 inches. Edge to edge, I measured from this edge to this edge. We have 17 11/16 of an inch. A lot of measurements. Doesn't tell you very much about the tank, does it? Well, that's where this is going to be coming in. It's basically, I sat these on here so that it wouldn't contact my mom's countertop, which is relatively new. So basically what I want to do in this clip is just figure out what we're going to be doing. Because obviously, this is designing the background. That's basically what the title of this clip is going to be. So this is about the same length. Go ahead and measure this right now. It's about 23 inches. That's good, that's good. So let's go and see. Two of these will not fit. I'll just tell you. Two of them will fit this way. Okay, so I've already thought about this a little bit. And what I want to do, I want to have these be the hinging doors. I will reveal that right now. These will be the doors to get into the aquarium, the Paludarium. So more on that in another clip when we actually build the tank, once I have the money to get the materials for the side of the Paludarium. I decided not to reveal that in the last clip, and I will still neglect to reveal that yet. But as of now, we can basically say that this will work for 2 panes of glass, relatively. I've thought about this, and I want this to be, I want the entire tank to be about 24 inches tall. So these are of course 16 inches, as we discussed. And relatively speaking, I want 5 inches for the drainage layer and substrate, 2 inches for the drainage layer specifically, 3 inches of substrate, and I'll basically be putting 2 inches drainage layer, maybe a 1/2 inch of the purifying material, which is the, completely forget the name of it, so I will insert that at the bottom here. But that leaves basically, for the background, we only need 19 inches. And this is under 18 inches. So what does that tell us? Tells us that this will not work, but we might be able to make it work. The thing is, how I want to design this, I've been looking into it a little bit online and stuff, and according to advancedaquarius.com, they have a couple articles about building Paludarium, and they suggest leaving about 3 inches around one side of the tank for the airflow to get through. And basically what that does is, as the hot air is rising and expanding and escaping, it'll pull cool air in. I want to do something like that. I have 2 ways I can do it. One, I can basically sacrifice some of the background and have a strip 1.5 inches wide, which will basically, or tall, which will basically allow this to fit in that space, because again, we need an extra inch on this. Alternatively, we can cut an inch off here, something of the sort, but that just gets more messy. So I don't know if I want to do that per se. There is another option, since what I really want to do is I want to hide the airflow intake behind the background. So basically I need this to be 19 inches. So we can either leave about an inch off the top, which will work because I want to have the light to be at the top, and I'm not sure if I want this to go all the way up to the top. Wouldn't be the worst idea, but I'm not sure I want to work that way. I do know for this tank I want to have about an inch airflow. I'm thinking probably on all 4 sides, honestly. I was thinking about just the back 2 or just the side 2, but I don't think an inch all the way around would really matter that much. It may help it to have more airflow, to be more beneficial. Of course, we have to balance this with humidity, so basically once I get this built with all the materials, I will be planting it. That's what these 3 moss cups are for. There is one that is flame moss. This one's weeping moss, and this one is spiky moss. My local fish store, when I went in to get the bags the day before, I packed them up and took them over there. They had a 2-for-1 special on these. So I decided to pick up 3, and I saw they had 3 different types of mosses, so I'm like, why not? The weeping moss I will likely put at the top so that it can kind of grow down. The flame moss I'll probably have as like the substrate, like, you know, near the substrate, so it would be like growing up towards the light, which will look really cool. And the spiky moss, I'm thinking, and of course this is assuming all of these can survive survive most conditions, because I'm talking about having these all be out of water. It will be humid, but again, most conditions. So I'm thinking about having the spiky moss maybe on the driftwood, if I have some of that in there, which I likely will. So that's just what I'm thinking at this point. So since this is specifically for the background, let's get back to that. I'm just trying to brief you guys on what's going to happen in the future as well. So this will be fine for 2 panes. Again, I'm not sure if I actually want to use it for 2 panes because it is a little bit short. But what I can do, I'm going to measure out, what did we say, 19 inches? Lock that on the end. We can measure that out. We press that in. Actually, we don't even have to do anything else. That should be good for that. And we said 10 inches. So we'll lock that in at 10 inches. You'll kind of understand what I'm doing in just a moment. What I'm going to be doing, what I'm thinking of doing, and most of my videos are basically, I have an end goal, but I'm just working towards it in whatever manner I think is best at the time. Not a super lot of planning, but decent amount, I suppose. But this right here, if I have 12 of these, let's go ahead and check the supplies. We do have 4. This one is a little bit cut up right there, which is alright. I don't think we have any more of that type, but that will actually work for one entire tank. So this will work for one entire tank. So that's good. But what I'm thinking is, because we want to kind of build this up as a sort of 3-dimensional background instead of just flat 2D, this is 1-inch thick styrofoam. So I could do 2 things with this. I could cut it down to 1/2 inch. I will need some sort of styrofoam cutter for that because I suck at cutting straight lines, to be completely honest. And what we can do with this is use that on top of here to actually start to make it 3-dimensional. That's what I think I'm going to stick with this piece and for those pieces, because it'll be easiest that way and it won't be so annoying trying to figure out how to make this an extra inch. So I'll show you the next clip once I get this actually kind of situated and get it all cut and everything, so stay tuned, I'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. So I have all of this done. These are the pieces that are going to be going on there. Right now I'm not sure how long this clip will be. I only have 5 minutes until I have to change the water. I am literally extremely tired right now, like falling asleep extremely tired, but I want to get this done. I don't want to wait until Friday night, having to postpone the video until noon because I don't get the editing done. This will likely be the last few clips of this video, so they probably won't be too long because I want to keep it under 20 minutes like the last one. But right now I'm going to figure out how I can cut these. I know the angle I need to cut them at, and I'm going to basically dry fit them on here. And I have this here because I don't want to scratch my mom's countertop. And just like the other panes, this pane is valuable. It's not like monetarily valuable, but this is what I'm going to use to cut the material I'm going to be working with this tank. I've already told you in a different clip about the panes of glass, what they're going to be doing, but I'm not telling you what I'm actually going to build the rest of the tank out of yet. Got to keep some suspense, right, people? But I'm going to go ahead and get on this, and after this clip, you guys will see basically where I place all of the ledges and everything, and how I do all of that. So go ahead and stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're enjoying this build already, and subscribe if you'd like to. Okay guys, I think I'm having second thoughts on this angle. I knew one was supposed to be 30 degrees, one was supposed to be 60 degrees. And I cut the 30 by hand. This is also why I kind of need a protractor, so I can actually get the proper angle. But it's not the prettiest, but this is pretty much how it's going to stand, I think. I mean, it looks almost good except for maybe this corner here, which, I mean, if I mess with this, the whole thing's going to be skewed because I don't think I exactly got the angle right, and it's not that pretty. So definitely got the angle wrong. I think I was supposed to cut the 60 degrees and not the 30 degrees. But basically, I'm probably going to have to do this one panel at a time, to be honest. I almost want to just leave it like this and wrap the entire thing at once. But given all of this stuff and, you know, yeah. It's going to have to be something that I wrap each panel and then attach them in the tank, or just let them sit up like that. Not liking this. I mean, it will look good when it's finished. I was going to go ahead and trim some of this stuff and go ahead and attach it onto here, but given it's so like literally watch. I mean, those two pieces actually kind of secured, I guess. But at the same time, it's like so just... The reason I was trying to do it this way, full disclaimer, I want to put some stuff in the corners. And obviously that's going to be very difficult to do panel by panel. As well as just kind of... I don't even know where I was going with this. That thought. But I wanted to do it, have some stuff like maybe something right here, something maybe right here, something maybe right here. But I'm not sure how that's going to work anymore. So this may actually be the end of the video. 2 things on my shopping list. Versatile, protractor. And for a different thing with measuring the ezuvias or the shed exoskeletons of the crabs, I want calipers because those are a lot more accurate than trying to estimate the millimeters. Another full disclaimer, it's not going to look so bad because I still have to cut this about 1 inch. Reason being, I might just cut each edge a 1/2 inch to make it a lot cleaner. The reason being is the thickness of my cocoa core liner is a 1/2 inch. So the way Tanner on Super Design shows to do it is to wrap it a little bit, even around the back a little bit. So I'm gonna have to trim this down anyhow. So this will probably wait until I get the Tesla coil is what I'm thinking of, and that is not the versatile. Okay. I'm into electric cars, but don't even ask me why I was thinking that. So this is probably going to be the end of this video. I do have the foam glue sticks coming. They created the shipping label today, this morning, so I should have that. It's coming USPS. I think it's coming priority mail, so in 2 to 3 days I might be able to get this kind of out of the way. But again, I really want to be able to do this as one whole piece, which means I have to clean that up, glue it, and probably start with new panels since I basically estimated and eyeballed it on every single one. And of course, it's not very clean cut. So go ahead and like this, subscribe. Have a wonderful week, folks.